everyone, welcome to day 24 of the McDougall Maximum Weight Loss Challenge. I always have to think about what I'm doing. I don't know why. It's been the same thing for the last 3 weeks. You would think it would just be in my brain at this point, but anyways. So last night I got ready to go to work. I took with me the rest of the bean soup and a whole bunch of broccoli and cauliflower chunked up in it again, and it was really, really good. Like, totally make that recipe. It was awesome. Like, yummy. So I took that with me, and then I made a cup of tea, and I was very naughty at work. I had a Pepsi, which is the kind that's made with the real sugar, not the kind that's made with the high fructose corn syrup. And it was really good. It was a can, and it was very good. Totally not on my plan at all, but it was very good, and I actually am not nearly as exhausted as I have been, which is terrible because caffeine's not exactly good for you. But anyways, I did, so I thought I would let you know. It was quite tasty. So anyways, I wanted to make a breakfast this morning, so I didn't really need to vlog last night just to show you guys that I was taking leftovers with me. Excuse me. And I want to make something called vegan pumpkin baked oatmeal. I'm hoping this is going to taste really good. I think that it is. I am going to modify the recipe slightly, simply because one of the ingredients seems like way too much of an ingredient to use. So I'm not thinking I'm going to do that. You should eat. It's okay. I have a child that's homesick from school. He's just staring. But anyway, you should eat. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. This is actually pretty darn easy. I mean, it's not very difficult at all. So you put some ingredients in your dry bowl, put some ingredients in your wet dish, mix your wet together, mix it into your dry. Totally easy. Put it in the oven and bake it for 20 minutes. So the first ingredient, I'm just going to bring you guys down on the counter so you could see most of what it is that we got going on here. It's very simple. It's not very difficult. Okay, so this is my dry bowl. So we're going to put in 2/3 of a cup of oats. I've got a 1/3 measuring cup, so I'm just going to do it twice. Okay, so 2/3 of a cup of oats. And then a pinch of salt, which I'm not going to do. And it says a pinch of baking powder, which I've never in a million years taken a pinch out of my baking powder. So I'm just going to, yeah, that's great. Okay, and then you also want to put, and this is what I'm changing. It says 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, which sounds like an absurd amount of pumpkin pie spice to me. So I'm actually going to use 1/2 of a teaspoon because pumpkin pie spice is really strong. I just cannot imagine, I just can't imagine using an entire teaspoon in this, which maybe I'm going to regret it. I'll let you know later. But I really just can't imagine regretting that at all. And the other thing you put in there is a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, which I would assume that there's cinnamon in the pumpkin pie spice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. But yeah, I don't know. That seems like an awful lot to me. So that's it. That's all that you have to put in there for your dry ingredients. So that part is extremely easy. Just mix that up and set it aside. And the next thing that you want to put together, this is actually the container that I'm going to use to cook it in the oven. This is going to be the wet ingredients. So the first thing is 1/4 of a cup of pumpkin. So is that gonna work? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's about 1/4 cup. Yummy. Okay, and then you also want to have 4 tablespoons of dairy-free milk, which 4 tablespoons is the same as 1/4 cup, so I'm going to reuse this. And I'm actually just using the soy beverage that we normally would buy for the boys. I don't have any of the non-fat soy milk left, so I'm just going to use this one. Okay, so there goes those 2 ingredients. You want 1/2 of a ripe banana mashed, so oh well, whatever. I've got a banana, it's very ripe. I'm going to make the boys some muffins with the bananas that I have left over there. I've got about 7 left, so I'll make them some banana muffins maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Either tomorrow or Thursday, I'm not actually sure. Okay, so there's that 1/2 of a banana. You need 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Where is my towel? Hang on one second, let me grab my towel. So you need 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh geez, that's on there really well. And yeah, that's potato vodka that we make into vanilla. My husband makes it now in, this is a 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to use 1/2 of this, or approximately 1/2 of this. We make it in the Instant Pot now. It's really cool. Yeah, that looks good. There we go. And last but not least is 1 tablespoon of nut butter. I am actually going to do this. I'm going to put it in there. This is the one that I prefer. It's soy, but it's simply cinnamon. This stuff is fabulous. Like, it is super, super tasty. It's not a health food by any means. There's oil in here. Maybe I should use peanut butter. It doesn't have oil in it. I don't know. Dr. McDougall is super no oil. You know what? Let's not use this. Let's use peanut butter. My peanut butter has no oil in it whatsoever. Let me grab that. So yeah, let's just use some peanut butter. So the peanut butter that we buy has literally peanuts and a tiny bit of salt, and the salt in it is really, really low because there's only 40 milligrams of sodium in 2 tablespoons. So it's very, very tiny amount of salt. Ugh. Getting in here without getting my hands dirty. Well, that's not quite a tablespoon, that's for sure. My tablespoon's not long enough. Oh, messy, messy, messy. Okay, you know what? That's a tablespoon. There we go. Okay, so now we'll just leave that like that for now. Now what you want to do is mix the wet ingredients together really well, and then you're going to put it into the dry ingredients. And once this is all mixed together, I'll just fast forward through this part, guys, and then you can see what it looks like when I'm putting it back together. Alrighty guys, so here it is, nice and mixed up. There's just a couple little lumps of banana in there. I'm not too worried about that. I think that's going to be just fine in baked oatmeal. Oh, sorry, here you go. So this you then put directly into your oats. Oven sounds like it's ready to go. And I need a spoon. Okay, so you mix this together really well. It's nice and creamy. And I really was going to use that container that I mixed the wet ingredients in. I'm just going to put it directly in there. But I'm going to have to go and clean that out before I put that in the oven, or else it's going to be gosh, that's going to be a mess. Okay, so you put this into your oven-safe dish, and you bake it at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. And then it says top it with your favorite ingredients or your favorite toppings. I'm not sure exactly what that would be. Maybe some blueberries or something. I'm not real sure. But anyway, I'm going to go put this into the oven and get it baking. And I will see you guys in about 20 minutes to tell you what the final product is. Okay, guys, it is done. It's very pretty. It definitely is more the consistency of like a bread pudding than it is like oatmeal or let's take this out of my ear. Bread pudding or oatmeal. It's not really an oatmeal consistency. It's definitely not bread consistency, but kind of like a bread pudding type consistency. I haven't tried it yet. Aha. Okay, so here's the deal. It's very good. I'm glad that I cut the teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice by half because it's still quite flavorful. Hey honey, I'm recording. However, it's not sweet at all, like at all. And I actually would kind of like it to be a little bit sweeter than it is when eating oatmeal. So I am going to put a tiny little bit of sugar across the top, just like a teeny tiny bit. Maybe just like a tablespoon of maple syrup actually would probably take care of it. And then I'm going to go and eat breakfast. So I would say that you probably should add a little bit of sweetener to this recipe. Yeah, I think the half of the ripe banana is supposed to add enough sweetness, but it really is not. It's not very sweet at all. So I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to enjoy my pumpkin oatmeal. This is actually really kind of fun. I mean, I would definitely recommend baking some oatmeal if you want a dish of baked oatmeal. It's kind of neat. Got a little bit of crustiness to it, and it's more of a, like I said, a bread pudding type consistency. You know, a few raisins would take care of this, to be honest with you. If you're eating fruit, put some fruit in here, put a few raisins in here, or even some cranberries. That would take care of the flavor totally. That's actually what I should have done. If you're allowed to eat dried fruit, get some cranberries in here or some raisins. That would be fabulous. So anyway, that's it for me for today, guys, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.